Hi there, welcome to a show where I talk about overlooked stuff, where people with nothing better to do might enjoy. Today's topic, Shen support. Wardens are my favorite class to play. They are tanky, have stupid amounts of damage, and can CC like nobody else. Shen is a warden and he is definitely not an exception. Therefore, Shen support should already be really stupid to play. And it is. Just like top lane Shen, support Shen can do early game beatdowns like nobody else, which makes him an absolute pairing with any lane bully ADCs. Plus, his itemization is cheap, provides utility, and is very flexible. So let's talk about the runes that make this work. So as for our runes, we're going to take Aftershock for the tanky engage, Shield Bash so that we get extra damage whenever we get a shield, Second Wind so that we can heal from engages and pokes, and Revitalize so that it can improve both Second Wind and the shield Shen gets from his passive. For our second tree, we're gonna take Inspiration, and we're gonna take Biscuits because Biscuits are broken early game sustain, and Approach Velocity so that Shen can engage his targets faster whenever he CCs them with either Q or E. Now for the adapt tips, I recommend attack speed, movement speed, and health. Now other rune keystones like Grassley and Dying or Glacial Augment can work as well, but the most consistent performer I've seen in my testing is Aftershock. But feel free to always change the adaptives as needed. Now let's move on to the summoner spells. For sums, it is either Flash TP so you can do Flash E and then TP back to lane after ulting, or take Flash Ignite to have higher kill pressure. Flash Exhaust is also a really good option if you're thinking of playing defensive. We'll be doing our usual start with a support item and 2 health pots. Buy Kindle Gem into Locket as first item. Locket gives you the tank stats you want at a cheap price while stacking on more shield with its active. For shoes, you want to get Swifties because it gives you the best movement speed for you to chase down people, but Symbiotics is also really good for roaming and recalling, and the usual defensive shoes also work pretty well to make you tanky. It's pretty flexible, so just decide on what you like and what the game state is currently. As for your support item, turn it into Bloodsong. It gives you that extra damage you want when diving or engaging, so it's pretty good, and especially useful in teamfights when everyone's focusing on the backline squishy. And with that much said, that is pretty much your core build. You could win games with just Locket, Shoes, and Bloodsong because Shen is just that strong early game. However, if the game does go on for longer, we are going full Ambulance Shen build. Build Knight's Vow as the second item if you need armor, or Spirit Visage if you need MR. But if you feel that your teammates are useless, then you can also buy Thormail instead of Knight's Vow. And for your third item, you're gonna buy Redemption in order to heal your teammates and yourself during teamfights. It also gives you extra healing and shielding powder as well, so it's really useful for your personal shielding. Your final item could be Flex depending on the situation. Personally, I like building either Deadmans for hyper engages or just some other generic tank item that is up on the screen as recommended options. And if you somehow make it to hyper late game on Shen support, the potion I would recommend is Iron Wall Potion. Once again, these are just recommendations, feel free to experiment and make decisions based on your game. As shown in the skill point distribution sheet, we want to go E, Q, and then W. The reason for this is because without your E, Shen has no engage in the bot lane, which is going to be his primary job. This is also the reason why we will be maxing E first, to have minimal downtime on jumping people. At level 1, you have 2 decisions to make based on who your ADC is. If they are some weakling late game ADC, stay passive and look to peel with E until level 3 where you can look for engages. But if you instead have a Giga Chad early game lane bully, go to the enemy bush and wait. 9 times out of 10, enemy ADC walks up, you taunt them, and friendly Giga Chad ADC kills them, and you snowball the lane from there. If somehow they survive, either by flashing or Divine Providence, just fall back, aggressively zone off enemies and farm to reach level 2 first, and then re-engage immediately after hitting level 2. Flash E if you must because you're just that strong, and either kill them or continue asserting lane dominance to remind them why it's a good thing Wardens are a small subclass in League of Legends. And even if you take a lot of damage trading with the enemy while doing this, it's fine, because you have 2 health pots and a biscuit at the start of the game. That's like 3 Estus flasks from Dark Souls for Shen to chug in front of the enemy. Not only is it demoralizing, it is completely unfair in terms of health trading, and you get 3 of these for the first 6 minutes of the game. What I'm trying to say is that, in the next 30 seconds following a biscuit, Shen is effectively immortal. Also, pro tip, save the W shield for important abilities like Jin's 4th shot or Caitlyn's headshot. it gives you insane trading results. And that's how you early game on Shen support. With the power of level 6 comes great responsibility. Or so that's what they say, but you're Shen, not Spider-Man. So who gives a rat's ass about responsibility anyways? Only out people who are worth your time. If your top is inting, ignore them. If your mid is balling, out them. It's a really simple flowchart. However, try to only ult someone if you have TP or your lane is secure, because staying away from bot lane for too long can result in either your ADC dying or you losing too much XP. You can also do a quick recall to heal or get an item advantage, because ulting your ADC to get back to lane is the equivalent of a free cheater recall. Make sure to join in on any Dragon Pit skirmishes or jungle invades, because if things have gone well for you, Shen has the ability to beat the piss out of anyone. Shen's power has begun to drop off at this stage, so now is the time to focus on using your utility and supporting your team. Join teamfights, bodyguard your carries, make use of Locket and Redemption, set up ambushes, and try to stay alive after engages. But remember, you can still beat up ADCs. So if an opportunity presents itself, feel free to dive the backline after taunting through the whole enemy team. Here are the pros and cons and champion matchups of Shen support. Shen support is a wonder of a champion. He's an excellent example of a Warden class, tanky with good damage, and it was great fun to see him terrorize bot lane. Heck, if I was as good as Xpetu, maybe I would have rushed Eclipse as the first item on Shen. If you haven't tried Shen, I recommend you do, because whether you play him support, top, or mid, he's a blast to play. And if you don't like playing Shen, too bad, cause I'm forcing you to. But what do you think? Would you use this build? What would your build look like? Are you a fan of Shen? Are you a fellow Warden class gamer? Did you enjoy watching? And did you subscribe? Do you have your own suggestions for this series? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Your idea could end up in the next community poll. And that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. Over 90% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel, so consider doing so if you're interested. I'll catch you guys later. Rock Tofu, signing off.